everyone. Quick couple things before this video starts. Why I have no glasses on? They broke. I was walking into the kitchen. They randomly just, the side thing fell off. It was weird. And the Halo series will be back soon, probably tomorrow if we're lucky. Thursday, my mom will be home, so that's probably the day it will be back. But anyway, let's get into this video. Today we are ranking every NFL primetime game. There are 16 Sunday and Thursday night games and 17 Monday night football games. For Thursday night football, I did include the Vikings-Saints Christmas game because that will be on a Friday and it is the closest to Thursday. So let's start with the Thursday night football games. I wrote them down in this little notebook. And dead last, I have one of the battles of Florida, Miami, Jacksonville. I mean, it's probably not going to be a good game. No, I mean, Jacksonville is going to be one of the worst teams. If Miami gets hot, they could make the playoffs as a 7th or 6th seed. But I don't see this one being good. The only good thing I can think about it is it could be Tua Tagovailoa's first primetime game. And Gardner Minshew's second. At 15, week 2, the first Thursday night football game on Fox. The Bengals and the Browns. Now, the only good thing about this one, well, there could be a couple good things, but the main thing, it's Joe Burrow's first game under the Thursday night lights. Because he's already been named starter after Andy Dalton got cut and Ryan Finley can't really be trusted as a full-time starter. Well, neither really can Burrow. But that's besides the point. Yeah. Baker versus Burrow. Thursday night football. The Browns went from a Thursday night football game, a Sunday night football game, and they had a Monday night one, yeah, to just a Thursday and a Monday after their underperforming season. But we will get Bengals-Browns on Thursday night, and it is almost dead last. Number 14, Atlanta, Carolina. Now, I mean, I could see the Falcons being better and the Panthers being better than last year. But I still can't see this being a good game. Two of the bottom feeders in the NFC. They're not horrible, but they're not good. They're mediocre, except the Panthers were not very good. But I can't see this being a good game. It could be if the Falcons or Panthers get hot. They both have strong running games. The Falcons have good receivers. The Panthers, not so much. Alright, the 13th game. Broncos-Jets. Now, I'm a Broncos fan. If I weren't a Broncos fan, this game would be lower. But I spared it because the last time these two teams played, the Jets won in MetLife. This game is in MetLife. This game will probably be a defensive battle. If the Broncos start off good, it could be a blowout. I could see either team taking a crack at the W. But Broncos-Jets, not the most exciting matchup for prime time. And our number 12 matchup is Chargers-Raiders. Now, we saw this Thursday night matchup last year in the black hole. The Raiders won because Phillip Rivers couldn't stop throwing it to the Raiders. And this year, it's not in Oakland, it's in Las Vegas. But the Raiders are still at home for this one. I mean, I'm not really picking who I think is going to win. I'm just placing to see how it will be a good game. But, I mean, divisional matchup, it could be good. Just depends on how the teams play. Number 11 matchup, another divisional matchup we have seen on Thursday night before. The Cardinals and the Seahawks. Last time they played on Thursday night, it was in Arizona, and it's most known for either Richard Sherman tearing his ACL or Russell Wilson running around and then throwing it to Doug Baldwin where he runs for almost a touchdown. But this could be a really good game, but there are some better games on here, and that's why it didn't crack the top 10. But the Seahawks and you could make a case for the entire NFC West making the playoffs. You really could. The Cardinals, Niners, Rams, and Seahawks are all very good football teams. And you could make a case for one division winner and 3 other wild card teams. So let's get into our number 10 game, the Buccaneers and the Bears. Now, I can't see this being offensive battle. I can see it being the defenses that steal the show. It's either going to be Trubisky. That's the air conditioner. It can either be Trubisky or Foles starting. For sake of views, I would like to see it be Brady Foles Super Bowl rematch. I would really like to see that. Most likely, it is week 5, so it's probably Trubisky, but it's going to be a defensive battle. So, yeah, that's number 10. Our number 9 spot, one of the better rivalries in the NFL, not so much lately, but it's had its moments, the Giants and the Eagles. Now, we've seen this like twice on Thursday night. It's remembered for that Barkley hurdle. But, yeah, we've seen it twice before on Thursday night. We're going to see it again. It's going to be Daniel Jones versus Carson Wentz, Miles Sanders versus Saquon Barkley, Evan Ingram, Zach Ertz. You know, all around good players on all the positions. But it has blowout potential, but it does have shootout potential too. So that's why it's number 9. Number 8, the Cowboys and the Ravens. I know. Why isn't this top 5 or top 3? Because I'm not buying into the Cowboys at the moment. I mean, they might not have Dak. Andy Dalton could start for all we know. That's why if Dak was a lock at starter right now, I think this game would be way higher. But it's in Baltimore. Baltimore hasn't lost a primetime game at home in a long time. Like, they have a 14-game win streak at home on primetime, if I remember the stat correctly. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure Baltimore's going to take this if they're not going to take a step down. Number 7, Patriots-Rams. The first time these two teams have played since Super Bowl 53, even though it won't be Brady Goff, which is another primetime game we will get to. It's going to be probably Stidham Goff. And if Stidham underperforms, it'll be Hoyer Goff, because this one is really late into the season. It's week 14. But I have no clue what to think of New England. Part of me says Belichick's a genius. Belichick's a genius, and he'll get them to the playoffs, or they're going to be god-awful or mediocre. If this were Brady, I'd have it higher, but it's Stidham, so it's number 7. Still could be a good game. Number 6, another divisional matchup, the Colts and the Titans. Rivers Tannehill, Henry Mack, Hilton A.J. Brown. It's going to be a good game. Two good teams. The Colts are a playoff contender. The Titans are the division front runner. So I could really see this being an awesome game. It is in Tennessee. Last year they no, that was in Jacksonville. I was going to say last year they hosted Thursday Night Football game, but I'm pretty sure that was in Jacksonville. Yeah, it's going to be a good game. Probably an offensive battle. Now we're into the top 5, and it is Pittsburgh, or Baltimore-Pittsburgh. Yes, the Thanksgiving game on NBC, two of the biggest rivals in the entirety of the NFL, the Ravens and the Steelers. It's in Heinz Field. Last year, the Ravens-Steelers game at Heinz Field, it went to overtime. I live close to Pittsburgh, so I have to watch the Steelers all the time. And it was a super good game. Can't say the same about the game in Baltimore, that 18-point blowout when the Ravens didn't even start any of their starters. And RG3 was the quarterback. Alright, but enough trash talking the Steelers. This game should be awesome. If it's not, well, I'll be sad. The number 4 game for Thursday Night Football. One of the growing rivalries in the National Football League is the Vikings and the Saints on Christmas Day. Now, I remember the Christmas Day game of the Steelers and the Texans. That was a blowout. I don't remember last year's Christmas Day game. I don't even remember if they had one. I remember the Broncos and Raiders playing on Christmas Eve on Monday night, and the Broncos lost. But back to the Vikings and the Saints. This rivalry has been starting since week 1 of 2017 when the Saints smacked the Vikings in Minnesota. Then, of course, they played in the playoffs and the Minnesota Miracle happened. Then they played on Sunday Night Football again in Minnesota, and the Saints smacked them. And then they played in the playoffs last year, and Kyle Rudolph happened in overtime. Yeah, Cousins versus Breeze, Cook versus Kamara, Thielen versus Michael Thomas. Rudolph versus... crap, what's their tight end's name? Oh, come on. Cook, Jared Cook. Two of the better defenses in the league, two of the better offenses in the league. It's going to be an all-around showdown. The number 3 game on our list is the first game of the season. A playoff rematch of the AFC Divisional Round, Texans, Chiefs, and Arrowhead. Now, what surprises me is this is the only Texans primetime game. Yeah, they don't get Sunday night, Monday night. No. Maybe it's because they don't have the best schedule in the league, but maybe it's because they lost D-Hop too, but this is going to be a monster of a game. An absolute good one. Filming a video.
Huh?
Filming a video. That was my dad. So yeah, number 3, Texans, Chiefs, and I know Hayden's disappointed that his only primetime game could be a massacre. Number 2, I'm surprised this wasn't Sunday or Monday, but it is a rematch of the NFC Championship. Packers 49ers on Thursday Night Football. Probably the best game. There were 2 super good games that I didn't know where to put them, so I put Packers-Niners right here. Now, the thing about the Packers for me is I don't trust them. I really, really don't trust them. They could be mediocre, but they could win the division again. I say they probably win the division, and I'm certain they'll make the playoffs. Well, I'm not certain, but I believe they'll make the playoffs. But 49ers Packers in Levi's Stadium should be a good one. And the best game for Thursday Night Football I have is the Chiefs and the Bills. Why, you may ask? The Bills are the division frontrunner. The Chiefs are the division frontrunner. They're probably the 2 best teams besides the Ravens in the AFC. And this is going to be an all-around showdown in New Era Field. So yeah, it's going to be good. 17 minutes in. Wow. Let's get to Sunday Night Football. This is going to be a long one. It was super hard to decide what the worst game on Sunday Night Football was going to be because these are all good games. But at 16, I have Tampa Bay, Las Vegas. I don't believe the Raiders are going to be good. I know they somehow could have made the playoffs last year, but they're not going to be good this year. They just need to give up on Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs. They should keep him. He's going to be a really good running back later in his career. And they still had Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper. They'd probably be one of the better wild card front runner, but right now they're not very good. That's why I have them as the 16th worst game, them and the Buccaneers. Well, the 15th worst game, Kansas City, Las Vegas. Yes, both of the Raiders Sunday night games. I don't know how they got 2, but both of them are the bottom 2. The Chiefs smacked the Raiders in both of their games last year. I remember I was at my Mimi's house, and when it started to get like 35-10, 35-0, they switched it to Broncos-Chargers, which turned into a much better game. And me and Bren were excited because we got to see Drew Lock's first start. But, yeah, not going to be a good game. Probably going to be a blowout. The best chance this will be a good game is of somehow the Raiders win. Number 14, Chicago, Green Bay. Yeah, the oldest rivalry, one of the oldest rivalries in sports, is at the bottom of the Sunday Night Football game list. Now, these 2 teams have played on NBC for the past 2 years. One where Aaron Rodgers made a miracle comeback and the other was a 10-3 snooze fest. This year, it's probably going to be neither of those. Maybe the snooze fest. I can just see it being another mediocre game, you know, maybe like a 20-10 game or a 17-7, a 30-10. No, kind of boring. 13 is Patriots Seahawks, and all of the Patriots primetime games, I just don't know what to think. I really don't. Seattle, I know they should be really good. I just don't know what to think about New England. If they still have Brady, this game will be way higher. It'd probably be it'd definitely be top 10, maybe even top 5. But yeah, I don't know what to think of New England. That's why it's not higher. But it is Jarrett Stidham's first chance under the primetime lights. Number 12, Baltimore, New England. Jarrett Stidham. Still don't know what to think. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, I know they should be good. But, yeah, any game with the Patriots, I just don't know. I really don't. 11, Denver, Kansas City. The Broncos have ended their streak of not being on Sunday Night Football games. And they're going to do it in Arrowhead. I've been seeing a lot of people say this is a Chiefs win. I've seen a couple people say this is a Broncos win. But I really hope the Broncos can win. I would like that because we can't stop getting swept by the Chiefs. But we're back on Sunday night, so it should be a good one. Now, starting off the top 10 is San Francisco, Dallas. Probably the best rivalry of the 90s is finally back on Sunday night. I mean, the last two times these two teams played, it was 2017, and the Cowboys beat the living daylights out of the Niners, and it was hard to watch. But this one should be good. Shouldn't be hard to watch. Cowboys should be okay. 49ers should be good. Number 9 is the Rams and the Cowboys. Or should I say Cowboys-Rams? The opening of SoFi Stadium will be a primetime game. So the Cowboys and the Rams will face off. It's not a shocker that the Cowboys are the opening primetime Sunday Night Football game. Aren't they always? Should be a good game. Yeah. Number 8 is Philadelphia, San Francisco. This game has major blowout potential. Major. I remember watching this game in 2017 when the Eagles were super good, and they just massacred the Niners. But, should be a good one. Number 7, Rams, Niners. Now, I remember it was December 23rd. It was a Saturday night game between these two, and it was super good. It eliminated the Rams, but it was still super good. And I'm hoping this one's super good. It should be. Number 6, Dallas, Philadelphia. It's not an NFL season if the Cowboys and Eagles aren't playing each other at the Link on Sunday night. Let me just see. Okay, my screen's not very hot. I was just checking. Yeah. Usually they're good. Sometimes they're blowouts. Hopefully this isn't the latter. Number 5, Titans, Packers. Both were playoff teams. Both were the conference runner-ups, and both are playing on Sunday night in Lambeau Field. I can't wait for this game, which sucks because it's week 16. So yeah, should be a good one. Number 4, this game was played on Sunday Night Football last year because they were two teams fighting for a wild card. It's the Steelers and the Bills. This time it's not at Heinz, it's at New Era. But that doesn't mean it's not going to be a bad game. It's going to be one of the better ones on Primetime. These two teams are going to be fighting, well, probably not the Bills, but the Steelers are going to be one of the wild card teams fighting for a playoff spot. And that's why this game against the Bills will be super important and super fun to watch. Number 3. This could be the last time we see Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees play against each other, and that's why it's number 3, Packers-Saints. The two veterans and Hall of Fame locks. This could be the last matchup we see of them, and it's a good spot for the Bayou in primetime. So, Packers-Saints, number 2 on the list. Or number 3. Speaking of number 2, Drew Brees is here again, but this time he's playing Tom Brady and the Bucks. The last time these two played, it was week 2 of 2017, and the Patriots just beat on the Saints in New Orleans. This time, it's in Tampa, and Tom Brady is not wearing blue and red. He's wearing red, brown, orange, and white. Well, not the orange anymore, he's just wearing red and brown. And the number 1 Sunday Night Football game, Minnesota-Seattle. What? Yes. These are two teams that I guarantee will be battling for the wild card, since unless San Francisco and Green Bay leave those divisions. These two teams will be fighting for the wild card. Even though it's only week 5, this will be a super fantastic game, and I'm super glad it's back on primetime. Last year it was on Monday night and it was super good. So yeah. Monday night, there are 17 of these games. And my least favorite out of the bunch is Buccaneers-Giants. Now, it's Tom Brady versus Daniel Jones. The Buccaneers are supposed to be a playoff team. The Giants aren't. This game is most likely a blowout or a boring mesh of plays. 16 is Patriots-Giants. Once again, it's not an NFL season if the Patriots and Giants aren't playing on a crappy, or the Patriots and the Jets aren't playing on a nationally televised game that is going to suck in some way. Last year, Sam Darnold saw a ghost on Monday night. 2017, they had that horrific no call, and that wasn't a no call. The Jets probably would have beat the Patriots. Hopefully Sam Darnold doesn't see ghosts this year. But yeah. 15, Pittsburgh-Cincinnati. A team that will be fighting for a wild card spot, and a team that will be fighting for a high draft pick. Can you guess which is which? Yeah. Joe Burrow's first Monday night appearance, and he'll be playing, hopefully, Big Ben. If not, it's either going to be the Duck or Rudolph. But in Cincy, last year we saw this game in Pittsburgh. The year before that, it wasn't on primetime. The year before that, we saw it in Cincy. Yeah, it's also not an NFL season if the Bengals and Steelers aren't playing on Monday night. And we have hit 30 minutes now. Alright, number 14. Bears Rams. Both were close to making the playoffs. I don't see it. I mean, I'm hoping for the Bears to make the playoffs. Allen Robinson, I like him. He went to Penn State. He's played with Blake Bortles and Mitch Trubisky all his career and still has received 1,000 yards. But I can't see, I mean, it could be a good game unless these two teams get hot like they did in 2018. This should be a defensive battle. 13, Baltimore-Cleveland. We saw this game in 2018. It was super good in Baltimore. You know, that final pick by C.J. Mosley sent Baltimore to the playoffs. But this one's in Cleveland. It's on Monday night. Last time they played Monday night in Cleveland, the Ravens and the Browns, Will Hill scored the kick 6. So, yeah, that's why it's 13. 12. It's the Week 1 matchup and the first Monday night game of the 2020 season. It's the Steelers and the Giants, two of the most historic franchises in the National Football League. Week 1 on Monday night. What could you ask for? I mean, there's probably some better Week 1 games that could have been in this spot. But, I mean, I guess it's okay. I guess. Number 11, Saints-Raiders. What? Ethan ranked a Raiders game high? Yeah, I mean, it's the first primetime game in the Raiders' new stadium. And that's the only reason. The Saints are going to kill the Raiders. That's the only reason I have this game high. We have hit the top 10. And to start it off, Arizona-Dallas. These two teams will be definitely fighting for a wild card spot, especially Arizona. I can see this being a good game. We saw it on Monday Night Football in 2017, except that year it was in Phoenix. This year it's in Dallas. And the Cowboys won, or maybe I can't remember. I think the Cardinals, I don't know. Number 9, Atlanta, Green Bay. These games are usually on prime time. Last time we saw them on prime time, it was 2017, Week 2, the first game in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And the Falcons beat up on the Packers. I don't think they will in this one since it's in Lambeau, but still should be a good one. Number 8, the second Monday Night Football Week 1 game between the Denver Broncos, or the Tennessee Titans and the Denver Broncos. It should be good. Two of probably the better teams in the NFL. Two teams that could be fighting for a wild card spot if the Colts or Texans are really good. But Denver should be fighting for a wild card spot because I don't see them getting past Kansas City unless Mahomes gets hurt. 7, Rams-Bucks. Brady versus Goff for the first time since Super Bowl 53. That'll be the headline of this game, and that's why it's number 7. 6, the week before Rams-Bucks is the number 6 game, Vikings-Bears. The last time it was 2018, and the Bears wore those beautiful orange jerseys. I don't think people really like them, but I do. And the Bears defense dominated. The Vikings offense should dominate, but we'll see. We have hit the top 5, and to start it off is the wild card rematch at the Link, Seattle, Philadelphia. Josh McCown started most of that game. Carson Wentz, unless he gets hurt for the quintillionth time. It should be Russ versus Wentz. This should be a good one. Numero 4, Buffalo, New England. I only put this in here because it was such a good game on Saturday last year. But once again, don't know what to do with Stidham. I don't. So, I still think it could be a good one. Number 3, and the bronze medal for best Monday night game, is the Drew Brees Bowl. Chargers Saints. This should be good. I'd like to see Herbert start, but knowing the NFL, Tyrod and Brees. Number 2, Buffalo, San Francisco. The 2 division frontrunners for their separate divisions, and this should be a really, really good game. And number 1, and it's not even a competition, Kansas City, Baltimore. We've seen these two face off for the last 3 years. They have both been really good or for the past 2 years, 3 years now. They've both been really good games, but they've both been in Arrowhead. This year it's in Baltimore, and this gives the Ravens a way better chance of winning it. Well, alright then. Adios, and remember, this is just what I think. This is just what I think. It's not what, I don't really know. This is my opinion. It's not like, it's facts. It's not like, it's not facts. It's my opinion. Think what you want to think. If you think Jaguars Dolphins is the best Thursday night game, have at it. Really, if you do, have fun. Well, we've almost hit 40, so see you.